Welcome to Prestige Worldwide, the podcast, a weekly battle of wits, debating everything from horseshoes to hand grenades, all for the privilege to be called right. And now, your hosts, Bobo and Travis.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Prestige Worldwide, the podcast. I'm Bobo, with me as always is Travis.
Hey, guys.
How we doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How about you?
I had a headache earlier today, so I'm kind of dragging.
Oh, really?
Had to take like 4 Excedrin. I think that's over the dosage you're supposed to take. I don't know.
Dude, just a little update from last week. So we talked about how I had food stuck in my throat.
Yeah.
And it is official. I can never be bulimic because I was sore. Literally, Saturday was the first day that like the soreness subsided enough that I could cough without pain.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it was insane. It was like I was doing ab workouts and it was just all around my midsection. It hurt so badly.
Well, you have to build up a tolerance to be bulimic. I think that's how it works.
You know what? I'm not that motivated.
Once you get in bulimic shape, though, then you can vomit up anything, and it's no big deal.
You know what? You're right. I should have looked up to them more than I did in the past, but my respect has been renewed for the bulimic community.
They do they consider? I guess they do consider themselves a community. At least the anorexics do, right? Don't they have like a whole like anorexic community? It's like pro anorexic or whatever. I
don't think so. Like I feel like if you understand that you're anorexic, that's part of the problem because those people just do it and don't realize they have a problem. I feel like anorexia is one that you just have no idea that you have a problem, like alcoholism.
Oh, is alcoholism a problem?
I mean, it can be.
Okay.
If it's if you're not going to work or I mean it'll lead to death just like anorexia will. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a problem.
I was obviously joking. I was just making the joke because, I mean, really, you have to call it a problem, right? I mean, but some people just like to have a good time. What's the difference?
Hey, I'm no scientist, so I don't know. All right?
You're no scientist. I'm no therapist. We can't figure this out.
That's right.
Never get to the bottom of it. Anyway, speaking of science and therapy, we should talk about. Do we have a voicemail first? We
do have a voicemail. You want to go to that?
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet. So,
so let me just start this off. I haven't listened to this voicemail, and whenever we get a voicemail, it includes a transcript of the voicemail, and a lot of times the transcript is not accurate. Okay,
dude, Google really fucks it up. By the way.
Well, this is so I have no idea what this is about. I do know this is from our listener Tim. And I also do know that he texted me asking me for the phone number because he was really drunk.
Okay.
So.
Wait. He was so drunk. Tim's a longtime listener.
Yes.
He was so drunk that he forgot the number is 747 banging.
Couldn't go to our website that is posted all over. Couldn't go to anything, but he couldn't.
How do you forget a phone number that's that fucking legit?
I think we're about to hear he was that drunk.
Got it.
Here we go.
Fuck the Penguins.
So listen, the Disney Monkey Party is a beautiful study in Americans' attachment to childhood. You obviously didn't get it, and I'm sorry you didn't get it. But
So if you didn't hear that, we're sorry you didn't get what the Disney onesie party is. It's a celebration of America. It's a celebration of onesies.
So here's something that was cool.
My cousin's is Travis. Bobo's the guy you didn't like.
Bobo's a fucking
Oh, fuck you, Bobo. Bobo, the same fuck you because a year ago.
Because apparently Disney parties challenged Bobo's ideal of what masculinity should be.
Here we go.
That's it.
That's it?
That's all it is. Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so what was happening?
Well, fuck you, Tim.
So this was, I guess, their annual Disney onesie party, where they all dress up in onesies and watch Disney movies.
Okay.
Yeah, just let that one sink in. And
listen, I need Tim to email us like visual proof of this party. I want a picture. We'll blur the faces if you want, but I want a picture of this Disney onesie party.
Oh yeah, and I know I was getting Snapchats all day, and I didn't get I didn't screenshot any of them. I should have. I dropped the ball on that one. But
God damn it, Travis.
Although yeah, I mean, the beginning of that voicemail brings up a bit of a sore subject with me right now, and that being my Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, what's going on with them, man?
Well, we are recording this episode early this week, so I can watch them lose and get swept by the Islanders, which I'm 99% sure is going to happen. So, yeah, I'm not. This hockey playoffs is like the happiest time of the year for me, and it is turned into not so happy.
Meanwhile, the Capitals are on their way to sweeping in the first round.
Wait, aren't they? At the time of recording, aren't they only up 2 games to nothing?
Right, we haven't lost yet. We're in the process of sweeping.
Yeah, okay. We'll see what happens. I
know we're going to see what happens. Don't worry.
I'm not convinced that things won't change for them, but we'll see.
Listen, Ovi called me. He promised me he's going to sober up like any day now, and then it's going to be fucking, dude, you don't even know.
If anybody can remember 747 banging, that's Alex Ovechkin.
I think he probably just drunk dials us. I mean, right? Because he seems like it's probably funny to him.
That's probably
747 banging. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't do a Russian accent very well either. I don't have a good Russian accent.
Just like he doesn't do a very good American accent. But
he doesn't do anything American very well except drink.
That is true.
He parties hard, man.
Yes, he does. But thank you, Tim, for the voicemail. That was funny.
No, fuck you, Tim.
Somewhat incoherent, but I appreciate it. And anytime somebody wants to leave us a drunk voicemail, it is widely appreciated.
That is true. We like drunk voicemails on Prestige Worldwide.
Yes, and it is encouraged among above other ones. I'll take any voicemail, but I'd rather have a drunk voicemail than anything else.
I'm not gonna lie, that one was great because he said something and then like all of a sudden it cut to like background chatter, and I thought he was just so drunk that he had left the phone on and went about his life for a minute there.
To be honest with you, had he done that and it was like an hour-long voicemail, that might have just been the episode.
I would have just played the episode. We wouldn't have stopped. We can't stop a voicemail once it starts. That's the rule, right?
Right. And we would just comment over it. It'd be Mystery Science Theater 3000.
That's a great idea for an episode. I'm going to put that on the list.
There we go. All right.
The next time a listener leaves us an hour-long voicemail at a party, that will be the episode.
All right. There we go.
Just calling that out. If any listeners want to go party this weekend and leaving us an hour-long voicemail, 747 banging.
Oh, God. I understand we're inviting problems with this, but I'm also excited if that would actually happen.
No problems. Oh, we should probably so we want to move on to Fantasy Movie League?
Yeah, well, we can because Tim is in our Fantasy Movie League and he won this week.
Oh, God damn it. Although I'm not far behind. I got third. Okay.
You do have third right behind me.
That's fine.
That is fine because you can't.
You still have a win. I'm still. Did I move up at all? I'm like third place maybe overall now. I need to find out.
Third place isn't a win, but anyways, Tim took it this week. Myself came in second. Bobo came in third. Derp to Derpers in fourth. Family Fun Times in fifth. Androice is in sixth, and Big Red's in seventh. Frank is in eighth, and Andy's in last place.
Yeah, fuck you, Andy.
First to last.
Stupid motherfucker.
You know what though? At least he played, and that's more than I can say about me for some of the times.
That's true, but Andy decided last week to up the game and change his username to F Bobo.
Yeah.
And that did not work out so well for him, which I am very happy about.
It did not so much.
Not so much. So you know what, Andy? You might want to change it back to something a little more docile because you ain't got the fucking. You can't back it up, buddy.
You lost it right there in the middle.
I lost it. I don't know. I was going to say something else, and then the words just didn't come. My brain's short-circulated.
And unfortunately, I can't. Can you see the overall stats? Because
I sure can. You want to talk about them? I'll give you the overall stats. Big Red is still in first place.
Of course.
Andy is in second. He's only $13 million behind first place.
Okay.
Derp is in third. He's $18 million behind. I'm now in fourth. I'm $23 million behind. Andrew Rice is in fifth. He's $31 million behind. We still don't know who the fuck he is. Then Tim's in sixth. Frank's in seventh. Family Fun Time is in eighth. And then Travis is in ninth.
Yes. Where I will be dwelling for the rest of the season.
And if you want to join the Fantasy Movie League, there's no better time than right now because New Avengers hasn't come out yet. So we're just hitting our stride this season. It's fantasymovieleague.com. The league you search for is Prestige Worldwide, the podcast, and the password is Travis Bobo, all one word, all lowercase.
That is correct.
Let's move on to another league we forgot to recap last week, Travis, which is our bracket challenge.
Okay.
So Travis joined my LAN party bracket challenge, where first prize was at my LAN party this summer. You get to have your own bedroom. No one else with you. Your own bedroom by yourself.
Oh, I thought it was just first pick of where you sleep. But no, it
is. But I've made a special room in my house that's going to be just a bedroom and a room by itself. So basically, first pick gets their own private bedroom.
And all the bed bugs you can have.
And all the bed bugs you can have. And my buddy Spencer came in first place with a total of 1,290 points. I don't know how they score this shit. So the top three people in our bracket picked Virginia to win it all.
Okay.
And Virginia actually won it all.
Oh, did
I can't fucking believe that happened.
I set my my bracket, and I checked back in like one or two times while this whole thing was going on. I had no idea who won the overall thing because I can't stand basketball and I don't know anything about it. But I will say every time I looked, the scoring on is it ESPN that you guys use?
Yes.
I didn't understand it. Like, could they not just say like you're in first, you're in second, you're in third?
They do. They have ranks.
I see that, but then there's all of these other things that like I was like, wait a minute, I have more something than that guy, and there's more. My numbers.
Okay,
are
so
higher.
the way the bracket challenge works is you get points every round, and it's 64 points per round.
Okay.
But if a team gets eliminated, you have less potential points you can get at the very end. So they always show you your maximum remaining total.
Okay.
Based on how many teams that you've picked are no longer in the tournament.
This is definitely the first time that I've ever participated in an online NCAA bracket.
Well, your fucking score reflects that.
Sure, it should. Because I know absolutely nothing about it. So,
I would like to say that our friend Needle Dick came in last place, and last place has to perform an awful punishment of they have to wear an outfit the whole weekend chosen by the winner, which is Spencer. Spencer is a benevolent god, I think, so Needle Dick might get off a little light on that. But he also has to perform a talent show skit for us.
Jesus Christ.
And the best part about his team that came in last was his team name was Randomly Selected Garbage. Which lived up to its name.
Sure. I mean, like, again, I had no idea what I was doing. I put zero effort into my bracket, and I guess
it shows.
I guess I still beat him.
Barely, but you did. You came in 11th place out of 13. And 12th place was only 10 points behind you. So you were, firmly in the bottom there.
That's fine. And where did you place in this whole thing?
I got 4th place.
Okay, which I believe after round one, you said you were going to be in the bottom. Is that what you said?
I was not looking good after the first round.
Okay, but then you made a rousing comeback, and
I made a rousing comeback. Yes, which is thank God. So
well, maybe next year we can get some of our listeners involved and do an actual bracket with our listeners, and I'm still not going to take this thing seriously because again, I hate basketball, but I
love basketball. So that's the one difference between us.
It really is, and I don't understand. I think I said this last week. I'd rather watch golf.
I think I'm more of a sports fan in general than you are. You seem to like specific sports a lot, but other sports you have no care in the world for. I tend to like all sports at a baseline level.
Yeah, no, that's probably pretty accurate. If I don't have a vested interest in it, like a team or like a constant team or whatever like that, no, I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah, that's okay. It's just one of the difference between us. I happen to like sports a little bit more. It's no big fucking deal.
No, I don't take any offense to that.
I'm also much more of a degenerate gambler than you'll ever be.
Right there's your vested interest. Maybe if I was,
that is obviously part of my best interest. I also like to gamble on sports, which is a great way to lose all your money.
See, I wouldn't mind gambling on it, except then I've got to actually put in some work to understand what I'm gambling on, and I have no desire.
Right. So, you have to do some legwork, correct?
Right, yeah. No, yeah. I have no desire to do that. Absolutely.
Speaking of gambling on sports, did you see sportsbooks lost a shitload of money over the weekend?
No, but from what?
Tiger Woods winning the Masters.
Oh, I did see he I saw that he won the Masters during the Penguins game. And I was watching the game with my dad, and I literally turned on and said, well, at least no one's going to care about the Penguins losing because Tiger just won the Masters. And that's all the sports world's going to be talking about. Correct.
So it's funny, though, because he has not won a Masters in a long time.
Right.
He was basically, I think the odds posted were 14-1 of him winning the Masters this year, which was still, it's only because it's Tiger Woods.
Right.
And one person made $1.2 million off of a single bet.
Really?
Yes.
Good for him.
How about that? But in general, a lot of people bet on Tiger because it's Tiger Woods, and the sportsbooks always make a shitload of money on it. But this year, they got their fucking asses handed to them.
Nice.
I think FanDuel alone said they lost more than $3 million.
Oh, well, listen.
Over the weekend on these bets.
That's why they call it gambling.
Right, exactly. It's just usually sportsbooks are very good about it. I mean, they wouldn't be in business if they didn't make money more often than they lost it.
Right.
Yeah. One website was offering bets at 100-1 odds for Woods, but they capped the bet limit to $10. But they only did that because one person in the company, what was the website said? BetStars was the website. One executive thought it should be a $100 limit.
Oh.
Had it been a $100 limit, they would have lost $3.6 million instead of the $360,000 they lost.
Do you think that guy even showed up for work today or on Monday?
Oh, I hope not. I hope he showed up with a fucking Callaway driver and just started swinging at shit in his office.
I'm gonna call in not sick but embarrassed today. So I will not be coming
I'm going to call in. When you have to give like a reason, I'm calling in to work today. What's the reason? Ashamed?
Dreadful shame. Just absolute dreadful shame. I cannot show my face there, but at least nobody listened to my dumbass advice.
Uncle Hare is very upset about Tiger Woods winning the Masters, by the way.
Why?
Because he thinks he's a piece of shit person.
Aren't they all?
Of course, that's what I said.
Like, I mean, to a certain degree, aren't they all? And you know what? Like, I don't know. I actually had this discussion with somebody at work too about how like they're like, oh, I don't like Tiger Woods, and they're like, because he cheated on his wife, and I'm like, you know what? Let me see what happens to you if you suddenly come into a ton of money and girls just start throwing themselves at you.
See, I look at it the opposite. I think he's a pretty cool dude because at least he was like a Perkins waitress, like a working class person. He could have been slumming it with like, I don't know, like some famous rich celebrity out in Hollywood. No, he decided to just go out and just have a casual affair with like a waitress.
Sure. Yeah. Good.
That's the definition of when keeping it real goes wrong.
That is true. And
I respect him more for that, though. At least it was with like a casual, everyday person. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's sharing himself with everybody, the common man.
I can appreciate that. I mean,
yeah,
not many girls.
So go look at it the other way,
Right. This is like the opposite of the Cinderella story. I mean. I shouldn't say that.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe it's not the opposite. It's the modern telling of the Cinderella story.
It's a modern reenactment. Yes.
Right. Yes. Girl meets rich famous guy. They fall in lust, and they bang a bunch of times, and then shit hits the fan. His wife finds out, and her Instagram model career is over.
Well, you know what? It was a good run, but guess what? Tiger Woods, he's back, baby.
Yes, he's back right now. Let's see if I can't speak intelligently on this. I don't know. Is this?
I don't know shit about golf, Travis. I can't either. So who the fuck cares?
Yeah, that's true. We're not here to speak intelligently.
I know. I know 2 words about golf. You ready? Tiger Woods. That's it. Got it.
And 4.
What?
At 4? 4.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I also know the words par, eagle, birdie, putting from the rough is one of my favorite phrases.
Right.
I use that in mostly in a non-golf sense, though.
Yeah, that's your Caddyshack showing in you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I consider my life putting from the rough, basically.
Well, listen. Speaking of putting from the rough, and I'd like to take this opportunity and this segue to ask you if you've seen the preview for the new John Delorean movie.
I thought you were gonna, before you said preview for movie, I thought you were gonna say Star Wars.
No, not yet. We can talk about that.
We can talk about that too.
Yes.
Because I did see the preview for the John Delorean movie.
Okay.
I don't care. Because
No,
I saw the preview for the new Star Wars movie, and I can't sleep at night now.
Okay, we'll get to the Star Wars movie, you fucking nerd. But I want to talk about your other nerdy shit, and that is the John Delorean movie. Are you intrigued at all by this movie?
No.
Not at all.
So I like the DeLorean. So for listeners that don't know, yes, I have a DeLorean. I like DeLoreans. I'm a big fan of them.
Right.
I'm a fan of DeLoreans because of Back to the Future when I was a kid.
Okay.
I don't have much affinity for John DeLorean, the person.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So, not that I don't care about the movie. I'm interested in it. I'm going to go see it. I've seen the preview for it. I'm not that hyped about it, though. I don't find John DeLorean's story all that intriguing to me.
Right.
Because I think it's kind of just sad.
And I'm sure it is. And I don't know as much about John DeLorean as I'm guessing you do. I tell you what I am intrigued about, and the reason why I brought this up is I do kind of want your opinion on this as to how factually correct you think this is going to be. And the reason, okay, you answered not. That's fine. But what intrigues me about this movie is they are actually cutting in footage of John DeLorean.
Sure. That footage is out there.
Right. It's gonna be I'm way intrigued by this movie because this is going to be they cut in some of the footage of John DeLorean. Then they also talk to apparently the actors that are playing. Alec Baldwin is playing John DeLorean, and apparently they talk to him as well. It's gonna be kind of a documentary type movie, but also with dramatization from a huge actor.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how it actually ends up being the whole movie was filmed and shot, because it's an interesting way they're doing it.
Right.
That's the most interesting part of the movie to me, is actually how they're actually making the movie.
But I would think that is also going to make it so they at least have to keep it somewhat accurate, if not moderately accurate.
The problem with keeping it accurate is the John DeLorean story about him, he was acquitted, obviously. He was entrapped by the government.
Oh, I didn't know this. So wait, don't go any further. You
didn't know that?
No, I didn't. No, again, I don't know much about John DeLorean. I know he's got a little hankering for some coke, or for some what did you call it?
Nostril nos?
Yeah, that's the douchiest. That's the douchiest saying I've ever heard. But I know he's got a little affinity for the yayo. But and I know he built a shitty car. That's about as much as I know about John DeLorean.
See, now again, I shouldn't be spoiling anything for you here. This happened a long time ago.
I know, but the funny part about it is, my brother and I have had this discussion on a personal level because we both listened to Howard Stern, and he talked about a movie that came out on Showtime that Ben Stiller directed. And Ben Stiller was in there and he did an interview, and it was the true story of the guys that broke out of Dannemora prison. Okay. And he basically was talking about the ending of the movie. Everybody should remember what happened to the two guys that broke out of the prison. And so my brother and I were like, that's kind of fucked up.
I mean, if it's based on a real event, I don't think knowing the real event should make you more or less excited to see the movie, though.
But it takes away some of the drama that they build up. So,
do you think that's just you, or do you think that's most people that go see the John Doerr movie, do you think they don't know how it ends?
I don't think they know how to. If I
put that on the poll, did you know before I said that John Delorean was acquitted?
Let's put that in a different way. Okay. The poll will be about John Delorean. You and I will figure that out off air. We don't need to do that right now.
Okay.
But I make a concerted effort. If I don't know about the story totally, I like when Foxcatcher came out about what's the who was the wrestling coach? It's blowing my, or it's leaving my mind right now. It's the
I don't know if I've seen that. So
it's the Steve Carell movie about the Olympic wrestlers. The guy,
I haven't seen it.
It's a true story about. Oh my God! It's the carpet people. I think.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on.
Travis is busy looking this up, whereas he keeps saying things, and I'm certain I've never seen this movie before.
I was also kind of hoping maybe you'd look it up while I was talking instead of making me do it.
I thought you were trying to actually search for it in your brain.
And my computer this week isn't working, so I'm having to use a laptop that's out of my reach. But it's John DuPont. It's the story about John DuPont. But it's a true story. And when I first saw it coming out, I desperately tried not to look up stuff about it because I didn't want to know the ending of the movie. But so I don't know how many other people care about that kind of stuff, but I know my brother and I do.
That's just weird that I mean, so for instance, like when you watched, have you seen the NWA biopic, right? Straight Outta Compton?
Yes.
Did you not know how that ended either?
Yeah, I knew how that ended.
Okay.
But
I'm just curious if you didn't know, you don't want to know until you watch the movie.
Had I not known, I wouldn't want to know. Of course not. No,
interesting.
I don't want to know. Honestly, did we talk about the dirt last week?
I just pictured. Yes, we did.
Okay, yeah, that one. I knew more about Motley Crue than I thought I did, and it probably would have been a little bit better movie had I not known.
Okay, I can kind of see that now. I just picture you though, in the theaters watching Munich. Being oh my God, did they kill him or not?
No, but I will say, but again, that's a good example because
Travis is in the theaters watching JFK, oh my God, what happens? Does he make it out alive? I don't know.
I'm watching Gettysburg on the edge of my seat. But I'm glad you brought up Munich though, because that is a fascinating story. And I want I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, but for anybody who's out there that has not seen the documentary One Day in September, it goes into full detail about the debacle that was that situation.
Dude, yeah.
And I watched that before the actual movie Munich came out, so I knew what was coming. But if I had it's the whole thing with just spoilers, which we've talked about on the air for a lot. I don't want to be spoiled with anything. I want to experience it in the moment. So
okay, I'm just it's funny because I've never thought about that as far as a documentary or a biopic. I get a spoiler for something that you don't know what happens because it's fiction and you haven't seen it yet. I just never thought about it in terms of based on a factual event.
I'll tell you another example. I just watched the documentary Free Solo, and for anybody out there that hasn't seen it, it was produced by Nat Geo, which if you have cable anymore, it's free on there. But the documentary, it won the Oscar this year for Best Documentary, and it is amazing. And if you have any kind of fear of heights whatsoever, your palms are going to be sweaty through the entire fucking movie. And but again, because we watched the Oscars, or at least I watched the Oscars for the podcast, I knew that it won the Oscar this year, so I kind of knew what was going to happen at the end. But it was still.
Why-
It was still.
Why would you know what happened just by winning an award or not?
Because do you know anything about it?
Nope, haven't seen it, so don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil anything for you.
Okay.
Or I might. I apologize.
Well, that's two different things, Travis.
Well, I mean, listen, you're an intelligent man, moderately, but you can put together.
Don't assume anything, all right?
You can put together by what I'm going to tell you. The reason why the movie's about a guy who wants to climb El Capitan in Yosemite, and he wants to do it without ropes.
Okay, that seems stupid.
It does seem stupid, and in my opinion, it kind of is. But the reason why I kind of knew what was going on is he was at the Oscars. So he doesn't die.
Okay, I got you because he was there.
Right, because he's there. Like,
that's funny. I like. You didn't tell me if he's in a wheelchair or not, though, and don't tell me.
Oh, I'm not. But he didn't die. So, like, you're not seeing a snuff film right off the bat.
I would love if someone made a documentary like that, but it like at 35 minutes he just falls off and the movie cuts to black.
Yeah, like
that's a goddamn biopic right there.
I guess, yeah, you're not wrong.
I want to see that movie.
But anyways, we can talk about the Star Wars trailer. I'm excited as well.
I made Ann come watch the trailer as soon as I saw it the first time. Ann does not like Star Wars. Why, I don't know.
Yeah, like,
but she does not like Star Wars.
Really?
No.
Does she like sci-fi in general?
No.
Okay, well then there's why.
Yes, but it's Star Wars. The kids love it. It's hard. It's fun for a family of all ages.
No. If you don't like sci-fi, you're not gonna like it. I completely understand that. Like, that's
bullshit.
That's not.
You don't like Star Wars, you can get the fuck out of this podcast.
I like Star Wars. I'm just telling you.
Good, you can stay. All the other listeners who don't like Star Wars, you can fuck right off.
I
don't need your patronage.
Fuck you and your Star Trek. But
yeah, fuck you, nerd Star Trekkies. I heard. Isn't there something going on with Star Trek this week too? Something about Picard's coming back or whatever.
I don't know. I don't give a shit. Like
I think Patrick Stewart's coming back. The ghost of Patrick Stewart, 'cause he's dead, right? I mean, he's got to be like dead or like 100 years old, right?
Like actual Patrick Stewart?
Yeah, he's like 78. Okay, he's not as old.
Yeah, no, he's not dead at all. I think he looks fairly good for his age too.
He probably does. I mean, he's got money to make himself look pretty good.
But what I'm I don't, yeah, unless it's J.J. Abrams like versions of Star Trek, I honestly couldn't give two shits. Like, yeah, that like it just. Those movies are good, but all of the other movies in the series are horrendously boring to me.
But I mean, I was never a Trek fan when I was a kid. I'm not. My dad was a Trekkie, but I was not. I was more of a Star Wars kid. But anyways, the trailer, I couldn't sleep the night after I saw it. I was so fucking excited. Dude, Billy D. Williams is coming back, baby.
I saw that, and that's cool. Like,
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I don't know what could have happened in that trailer that it wouldn't have looked good.
No, you're right, exactly. How can you not be excited for anything that was going to happen in that trailer? Exactly. Like, what are they going to do?
Right. If you're excited for Star Wars, like,
actually, no. I know how that could have made it not exciting. Jar Jar Binks.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Just put Jar Jar Binks into it. However, then that theory that was roaming around the internet about Jar Jar Binks, then I'd be a little bit impressed.
Oh my god, dude!
But
if I saw Jar Jar, I don't know what I would do.
You'd go see it.
Wrist slitting comes in first thing in my mind.
You would definitely go see it.
If Jar Jar Binks showed up in the trailer to the new Star Wars movie.
Yes, you would definitely go see it. Because they're like,
I would go see it. I would be way less excited.
Right, but knowing like how hated of a character he is, if they tried to resurrect that, you have to go see it. You got to see what they do, and maybe they pull it off. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe he's right, but
fucking real professional here, Jesus Christ.
If you want to know what's going on, we just had to pause the podcast recording because there were dogs in the room with Bobo. Why did you not shoo those out before we started recording?
I never do. They always record with me.
See, there's the problem, and that's why we're not professional.
No, I mean, listen, professionals can have dogs work with them all the time. It's no big deal.
That's true. All right, so one other thing that I want to talk about too, I want to give a shout out to our listener MC, because him and I are hockey fans, and we happened to watch the first Penguins game together, and he mentioned that there is a podcast out there, and well, he put it that way. There's a podcast out there, but it's one that I'd listened to before. It's called Radio Lab.
Yeah,
and
everyone's heard of that, right? I mean, it's one of the most popular ones.
I would think so, but you never know. It's an NPR.
Don't listen to it though. Listen to ours instead. Anyways,
right? Yeah, it's way too smart for you idiots. But there is one that is about John Scott, who, if you don't know anything about hockey, that's okay. But a couple years ago, we'll just say some hockey nerds got mad at the NHL and decided that you could vote in a player for the All-Star game. So they took a player, John Scott, who is not All-Star caliber at all, and started a campaign to get him to go to the All-Star game. And Bobo, do you remember that at all? Do you remember hearing anything about that at all?
I do, because it was very funny to me.
Yes.
Because that's what the internet is for.
Right, for trolling people.
It's for things like this. Right, exactly.
But I will tell you, this episode of Radiolab, and I'm pretty sure it is called Punchline? No. I don't know. Bubba, look that up. John Scott Radiolab.
I'll look it up.
But the episode that was recommended by
Punchline.
Punchline, yep. Okay. That it was recommended by MC is fantastic.
I'll have to check that out. I didn't know there was a Radio Lab about it. I just know that wasn't he the MVP of that game?
I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
I remember something about that. I haven't heard the podcast, so I don't know. But.
I tell you what, listen to the podcast. I got emotional listening to it. Because there are different levels.
Well, you just anything with hockey, you just start to you just
not
cry.
True.
So
not true. Because I pretty much care about the Penguins and about that. That's about it. I'm not a very good sports fan, as we've discussed earlier in this podcast. But I'll tell you what, this one got me because he is as close as you're gonna get to the everyman hockey player. Like, he's just a guy out there that never thought he'd be in the NHL and never thought he'd be in the limelight and whatsoever. And the NHL, without spoiling anything, the NHL kind of fucked with him. And it is a fantastic episode. I'd listen to it again if I could, but I can't because I only listen to things once.
What?
No, that's not true.
Okay, I was like, what is that now? If you want to listen to it again, fucking go listen to it again, buddy.
No, that's not true. But yeah,
Put on the Waterworks. It's your fucking that podcast is This Is Us for Travis.
That episode, at least. I mean, it was very. I just go listen to it if you got an extra 45 minutes or whatever it is. I would recommend highly listening to that episode. I'm
gonna check it out tomorrow. Wait, Travis. We'll talk about it next week.
You should. I think you. I honestly think you'd really like it too. If
I probably will. I usually like stuff like that. I'm gonna give it a spin.
Sure. So,
even though it's probably gonna use way too many big words that'll go over my head, but
that's true.
Gonna need to have a dictionary when I listen to that. God damn it.
So,
motherfucker.
Do you want to move on to what we were talking about before we started recording the episode?
What was that? Oh, that fucking shit burning down?
Oh, well, yeah. I guess we need to mention that.
Yeah, while we're recording this episode, apparently fucking national treasures in Paris are burning down. Or is it just in France? It's not in Paris, is it?
It is Paris, yes.
It is Paris. Okay.
It was, yeah. No,
I assume everything that's in France is in Paris.
It's the Notre Dame burned down. Basically everything that was wood in that place burnt. So,
but more important than the wood, it's the glass also.
Oh, yeah, that's gone as well.
Yeah, that's more. I think that's probably even more important than some of the wood structures. Is that stained glass that's been around for 900 years just melted? You know what I mean? Like it's gone.
Now it does seem like the coverage that I was watching before we started recording this, that it did seem as though, like, because it was under renovations and it very early on, and there's going to be way more news by the time this episode gets released. But it seemed like this may have been a construction error, and
they're talking. They're doing renovations to it,
right?
And they think that there might be renovations that might have caused something happened that's what the cause of the fire was.
Right. But
I have an alternate theory,
and that is,
it's the gays.
It's totally the gays. If they were not gays,
God is mad about all the gays and the Jews in the world, and he decided this is our punishment.
You know, so I didn't
burn down Notre Dame.
I didn't hear about this happening until I got home from work. All right, I just happened to look at something on my phone.
Well, Travis, the gays are everywhere now, if you didn't know that.
No, oh, yeah, no.
How did you not hear about them before you got home from work? I don't understand.
I don't know either. But, I didn't know about this until I got home from work. And I turned on the news, and I was, like, watching the coverage and basically just watching the thing burn down. And the first thing that came to my mind is, where's your God now? Like,
Jesus Christ, Travis.
I mean, seriously.
And then your second thought was also, he's punishing us because all the gays and the Jews are still in the world.
Well, no,
right,
then I understood
because,
I understood because of the gays and the Jews.
Right. Listen, if they weren't around, Notre Dame would still be standing. So, I mean,
right.
It's kind of their fault. Like,
one of them has to go, so God chose the cathedral.
He chose right.
That's true. Me too. I agree. But
whatever.
Yeah, it is sad. I will say I was watching it. It is sad because I never got to see the cathedral, and it would have been nice to have seen that before it burned down. I know Big E's been there, but yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to go now and just watch.
It's kind of sad when you think about it, only because that cathedral, like, there's not a single structure in America even half as old as it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's kind of wild to think about, though, isn't it?
It is. Very much so.
It was built in 1163.
Yeah, I was trying to think of, like, what Americans could equate this to, and I honestly don't know if there is anything. I mean, maybe...
There isn't. There's nothing built in America that's standing before 17-something.
Maybe the White House? Like, if there was, like...
Oh, you mean in terms of importance and significance?
Like overall worldwide significance, but all, cultural and worldwide significance to us as Americans. Like, yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe if for some reason the Golden Gate Bridge could burn down.
That would be a good one, because I think the White House is too strong of one. I mean, the White House is definitely more known than the Notre Dame Cathedral in terms of, like, world importance.
Sure. But
Golden Gate Bridge, that's a pretty prominent structure.
Right. So maybe it's that.
That's a good one, actually, Travis. I don't know if I could submit a better one to you than that one.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it is
maybe. Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, when it comes to, like, shit like that, I get it. It's sad because of all the history involved, and I know that's cliche to say, but there is something when you're standing right next to a building or a ship or some sort of artifact that has lasted centuries.
Right. I mean, it was built in 1163. 1163.
That's crazy. That's just
Can you
crazy.
fucking imagine?
No. And it, like, it, honestly,
you know how dry that goddamn wood is? I can't believe it just didn't blow up.
I mean, it went up pretty fast.
I mean, that's true. It did I saw the video. It kind of did go up pretty fast.
Yeah, it was, yeah, that was,
that's kind of sad. That's also, I think that's where Napoleon was crowned emperor, was in that building too.
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure maybe Big E could give us a call and let us know, because I'm sure he knows.
Yeah, that's, what, he's been there. I think so. He's the only official, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? The expert on this for us.
Yeah, the one that we can get a hold of.
Yeah, he's got to call in and give us his update on it. So
right.
We're going to look forward to that.
But should we talk about quickly what the other one we were talking about the college cheating scandal? And I'm still not convinced.
Yes.
I'm still not convinced that people really give a shit. Like,
well, the news and the ratings seem to reflect that they really do love talking about it.
Yes. And does that mean they give a shit? Like,
I mean, if you keep reading and you keep paying attention, even if you say you don't give a shit, you're kind of not telling the truth.
Right. Yes, I know. I guess you're right. Maybe I was wrong about this. Maybe this story does have legs.
It's had legs, Travis. I mean, it's been going on for weeks now.
I think the only way that now, I don't know, but what we had talked about earlier before we started recording this is now it looks like Lori Loughlin and her husband are in serious trouble.
Yes, it does.
And it looks like they're going to do some jail time.
They're going to do some federal pound me in the ass prison time.
And that's where we ended our conversation and said, let's just hit record and carry this on the air, because I don't think they're going. I think their sentences are going to be in terms of months.
Oh, this is where we should have the poll, because we were talking about how much jail time Lori Loughlin's going to serve.
Right.
I mean, some of the charges they're throwing out on these, like wire fraud, I mean, conspiracy, like these are big boy, like gangster charges.
Yes, they are. But,
so in theory, they should carry significant jail time and punishment.
Right. But Lori Loughlin and her husband has something going for them that I don't think you're taking into account for. They're white and
privilege.
They're white and they're rich.
I mean, I am taking into account for that, but I am saying Travis was thinking, you said 18 months? You think they do less?
I'd say they do. I don't think they do more than 18 months.
So if that's the poll, if 18 months is the over under for the amount of prison that Lori Loughlin is sentenced to, right, I'm taking the over.
Okay. Well, we'll put up two polls this week.
We should.
We're going to do it. We'll put up another one. We'll put up, do you think, is it over or under 18 months? I mean, listen, like we were kind of discussing what did Martha Stewart get charged with? Like,
I pulled that up while we were talking before the podcast.
Okay.
So Martha Stewart remember, this is years ago now.
Right.
We're talking about her insider trading scandal when she went to prison. She actually got found guilty at trial of conspiracy and wire fraud.
Okay, so that's actually that's good.
No. She got convicted of
insider trading, wasn't it?
Conspiracy. It was something else. Hang on. Oh, yes. Conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and 2 counts of making false statements to federal investigators.
Okay.
And she got sentenced to 5 months in prison.
So she got 5 months in prison for insider trading, basically.
No, well, here's the thing, though. Before the trial started, the judge dismissed the biggest charge, which was securities fraud, which carries a 10-year sentence.
Okay.
So she didn't get tried on this most serious charge when it actually went to trial.
Okay. So all right. So they're okay. So she didn't get
conspiracy. She got conspiracy and obstruction of justice and got 5 months.
So I guess we're just gonna have to see what charges stick with the with Lori Loughlin and her husband. And,
right. I mean, we'll have to see. A lot of people are already pleading guilty.
Right.
I think Felicity Huffman pleaded guilty already. I think she's going to do more jail time than Martha Stewart.
I guess we'll see. I don't think her sentencing is until the end of May. So
I wait on bated breath for that and Star Wars.
I don't know. Is there? I guess the other factor is there anybody left that they can turn on so they can cut a deal and turn?
I don't think anyone can turn on anybody in this, because I think all their cases were very much like independent of everybody else. I don't think Lori Loughlin knew Felicity Huffman was involved with like her kids either.
Yeah.
So I think they're all just on their own, basically. All these rich dicks are just out there on their own.
I'll just be shocked. I mean, unfortunately, at this point, like the way that the justice system works and handles cases like this, I'll be shocked if she gets a significant sentence.
Okay.
I mean,
now, but are you hoping that she does, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like I feel like that. Yeah.
What do you think is fair? In your professional opinion, Travis, what is fair for her to serve as jail time for this?
In all my years of bird law, I would have to say at least 35 years.
What?
But, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. No, seriously. What would you if a sentence comes down? What would you say? Oh, that's reasonable.
I would honestly, I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to see what the sentencing guidelines are to what she's actually convicted of or pleads guilty to.
I'm just saying, literally, like, if it comes down, the judge says 5 years, I'll be like, I don't care what the charges are. I'm saying in my mind, I'd be like, yep, seems about right.
5 years is fine, but if she's looking at like 20 years.
Oh, I don't care about that. I just care what seems reasonable for the crime she committed. 5 years in the slammer sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, but we don't know what crime she's committed yet.
I'm just assuming, bro, reckless speculation. It's okay.
Yeah, but this is what you hate. Like, every time we have this kind of discussion, you and I we're literally on opposite sides at this point. And
I know, but my self-loathing is just so strong.
Your hatred of celebrities.
Right, I do hate them. Lock them up, man. Fucking life sentence for this shit. Unforgivable crime.
Yeah, but I don't. 5 years sounds good to me. I guess we'll see. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I honestly, there is a small part of me that feels bad for the guy who had to take all of the SAT tests because he only got I believe he only got like I think he got less than a year. And okay. But the reason I feel bad for him is his fines total everything that he made doing that.
Well, don't fucking break the law, asshole.
I know, but he took tests for spoiled rich kids. Like, leave him with $1. Like, leave him with
$1. Listen to you.
Leave him with something. He did actually take the test. He put the work in.
You realize that the guy who could take this test, like, randomly just take a test and get like a 1600 in the SATs. I mean, this guy is legitimately like probably a genius.
Yeah, but
and this is how he chose to use his intelligence. Fuck that dude.
That is true.
Right? Like that's what he decided was the best way to use his intelligent brain for society, was to get rich dicks into USC. He can go suck an egg.
Yeah. You make a great point.
That's why I'm here.
Since we're not going to get to our topic, as you can tell.
Oh, we're not? Shucks.
No, we're once again blowing off Bobo's topic. I'd like to move on to some end times.
Okay.
And I sent Bobo a link that I'd like him to open up now. And
opening up the link as we speak.
And it is also posted.
What the fuck is this?
It's also posted on pwthepodcast.com. And what Bobo is looking at are what are called Janties, I believe it is.
Yes.
Jean panties. And
I hate this.
Oh, it looks so fucking stupid.
I'm mortified looking at this. Ooh.
Like, this is the new hot trend that I guess this is what was supposed to be seen at Coachella this year, like people wearing this stupid shit.
They wore this shit at Coachella?
I don't think they did. Or has it happened yet? I don't know if Coachella's happened yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if you see some idiots wearing this shit. Basically, what it is it's jean panties, or it's jean like high-waisted shorts.
My first thought after shivering visibly was I thought of Arrested Development and the Never Nudes.
The Never Nude, yeah, okay. Basically, it is a sleeker, some would say sexier version of the Never Nudes jeans.
Of the jorts, yes.
Of the jorts.
They're basically jorts cut to look like women's underwear.
Right. And
they're horrifying.
The funny part about it is, they're listed for sale already. Would you like to take a guess on how much they are?
Ooh, $39.95.
They are $315.
What the fuck? That's not true, right?
It is 100% true. And yeah, there's like the one website that I'm on right now has a picture of them on like the fashion runway at some like stupid fashion show, and I think probably in Paris. This is probably why the Notre Dame burned down.
Oh, they saw Janties on the runway and they were like, nope, something's got to give.
We're done. This world's over. We're
oh my god, they are on the runway in Paris. Oh my god.
Yeah, there is.
Oh,
yeah. So the denim diaper is $315 on some websites.
This is fucked.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're fucked for showing this to me. This is going to haunt my dreams now. This and the new Star Wars trailer. Now, this is why I can't sleep. Put that on the list of reasons Bobo can't sleep. A, new Star Wars trailer. B, Cobra Kai comes out in 13 days. And C, Janties.
Janties. I will say, as horrific as these things are, and they are, I would love to see somebody wearing these out in the wild.
I wouldn't. I'm good.
Oh, yeah, because they don't look good on the model, let alone a regular person.
Oh, man, that's true. I can't wait to see some hideous man whale wearing these things around.
Just a gun hanging out over the top of your Janties.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's not going to be good.
All right, listen, before we get to the end time promo nonsense, next week we're going to do a special episode.
Yes, we are.
We haven't done an interview in a long time on Prestige Worldwide, the podcast.
Right.
But next week we're going to do an interview. And it's not somebody that people really know, but hopefully they enjoy it.
You never know. I mean, I knew.
If you like old school 90s SoCal punk rock and you know who 10 Foot Pole is, then you might like next week. You know more than most people then. All right.
If you have played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, then you might know this next band.
That they are on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. That's a good point.
Right. So
next week we're going to interview Dennis Jaggard, who's the lead singer, guitar player, songwriter for the band 10 Foot Pole, which is an all mid 90s to early 2000s SoCal skate punk band.
Right.
And he's an interesting character. 10 Foot Pole has a new record that's coming out in May. After, I mean, how old he is now? We'll ask him how old he is. He's got to be ancient.
Easy. Let's not start
insulting. I'm not ancient, but he's definitely middle aged at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I mean, we're not no spoiling anything, but his band 10 Foot Pole started in the early 80s.
Right.
So dude's got some years on us. But
he's also toured with some huge bands back in the day. I mean, he helped. So a lot of people, some of the other musicians in 10 Foot Pole helped Blink-182 write Dude Ranch.
Right.
So there are going to be some cool stories. We're gonna suss all that out of him, though.
Yes. Yeah. So it's gonna be a very special episode. We're very excited to have him on the air, and hopefully he doesn't stand us up.
He won't stand us up. Don't worry.
Could you imagine? That'd be funny. We're pushing this. And
listen, if he stands us up, we can get to my topic finally. So either way, the listeners win.
I don't know that they do, but that's. They'll definitely win if we get the interview. So
that's true. The number is 747 banging.
That's right, Tim. 747 banging. That's 747-226-4464.
Don't forget to call in with your hour-long drunken partying voicemail where you just leave the phone on for an hour while you're partying and we play the whole thing and we do MST3K over it. Can't fucking wait.
Yeah. Be creative.
Challenge accepted.
Be creative, because I can also see an hour-long worth of just Big E taking a shit. So
no, there's got to be noise and confusion and talking. We got to be able to hear stuff.
I agree. So
if we don't do that, we're definitely going to cut it off. All right, listen, I said we weren't going to cut it off. I lied. It has to be something for us to make fun of.
Okay, that's true. Maybe it's just okay. Okay, that's fine.
That's all. That's my preference. There got to be something there.
Okay, I'll go along with that.
So you can. I've lost my train of thought now.
You can visit our social media pages.
That's what I was going to get to. So PW the Podcast for our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook, our social media pages. Go ahead and like our pictures, comment on our bullshit. Let us know how awesome our podcast is or how terrible it is. We don't care. Just as long as you're interesting about it. Just, be funny about it.
Uh-huh.
Give us some feedback. Constructive criticism is always welcome here. If you say anything bad about me, though, I'll fucking be pissed off.
Are you pissed off? Because I believe I heard some fuck Bobos to start off this podcast.
Tim can suck my ass, all right?
I don't necessarily know that it was Tim, although it probably was. But it was just the people at his party.
Yeah, you know what, though? They were all wearing fucking onesies, so I don't give a shit what they said.
Hey, you know what, though? Apparently a lot of them listen to the podcast, so that might be our target demographic.
Oh, onesies wearing lunatics? Great. Such a large demographic we're going to hit. I can't fucking wait. Prestige Worldwide, the podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, anywhere they have good podcasts, Google Play, Apple Music, whatever the fuck they're calling their podcast thing now. Just find us. Wherever they have podcasts or music, type in Prestige Worldwide the podcast. We'll come up, I promise you.
Just find us. Just find us. Come on.
Find us. Do whatever you can.
And you know what? When you find us, give us 5 stars.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Give us 5 stars. Comment and tell us. Make sure the listeners know that we are the next best thing since Janties were invented.
We are the Janties of podcasting.
Oh, yeah, because we're worth a fortune.
We're sexy.
All right, that's all I got this week. How about you, buddy?
That's it. That's all I got, too.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week.
See you next Thursday.